Well, I grew up in Portland, Maine on Mungo Hill, the base. For me, my creative stuff all started just in my backpack. I carried like fingernail polish and markers and little paint tubes and brushes and pencils and pens and whatnot, and build sculptures in the woods, on the beaches. But yeah, it all started with the little stuff, trying to find my little piece. So my dad was a little inspiring. He used to sit us down at the table and make us draw. He was an artist. He did his own murals and he drew. He drew a lot, painted. But he was pretty much the one that implanted it in me at a young age. My mom was a crafty person. She would always order little crafty things in the mail and half finish them, and I would finish them for her. Just little things like that. But yeah, the creative part definitely started really young, but when it became my own, when I actually developed it into my own thing, that's when I started with a backpack and I'd escape into the woods or into the graveyard, sit in the graveyard and do my sketching or something. I was never embarrassed, but I never considered myself an artist, and I never really exposed myself as an artist until later when somebody kept telling me I was an artist. But back in the day, it was just rolled up paintings, you know. When I got into Bob Ross taught me how to paint. That's where it all began for me, is the brushing, the strokes on canvas, building my own canvas and stuff. I struggled finishing art. In the beginning, when I first started, I half-finished pieces, and I struggled to finish. So I never had a finished product. I was just going through it. Didn't like it, move on, didn't like it, move on, and so on. And then when I really started getting into it and becoming obsessed with it, I realized that finishing was very important to move on to the next phase. You gotta finish. And I don't call it finishing. I tend to abandon, you know, I'm done. I abandon my art and it's time to move on. So yeah, finishing is something that I learned is very important. Because there's so many different things that can inspire me, so many, and I can go on and on and on, but it's just the will and the obsession that this is really what I want to be doing right now. That's my inspiration, usually in the end. Well, it started with blue, actually. I was really into like painting these spheres or moon shapes in blue backgrounds. And to me that was like it was the sky, it was space. So eventually I evolved into red, but I had the same skies, the same moons and spheres and stuff going on in it. So I always considered the blue space and red inner space. So whenever I do a red painting, it's just something that's in an inner space, imaginary, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of like where it goes, you know. Well, it just started out one day. I discovered this technique, you know, and I just became obsessed with it, and it's evolved into texture and skeletal. Snakeskin, sometimes it looks like snakeskin. So just that one day that I discovered that I could do this, it has evolved from that. So, and I can't stop. In my next painting, same thing. So the neon phase started like in, I think it was like 2007, and it was kind of veering off from oil/acrylic abstract. I turned on a black light on a Halloween one night with all my paintings, and I've never worked with neon painting before, and one of my paintings lit up. And I was just so impressed. I was like, how the hell did that happen? So that's the reason why I started getting into neon paints. I went out and I bought a whole pile of neon paints trying to replicate that same painting because I loved it so much. And I could never do it. I could never replicate it. It was done with torches and all this crazy heat that I created that actually created blooms of different colors that you can't recreate because the fire created it, but it became neon. I didn't know that at the time.
Get the blowtorch out.
I didn't know, yeah, I used to use blowtorches on quite a bit of my work. It just creates a total new texture and colors, which I discovered.
We'd like to invite you to be a part of the People's Artist, which is a celebration to support your creative vision and talents. So the winner, by vote, will be welcomed into the creative world of the Art of Elysium, will be featured in Art Forum, and will receive $25,000.
At first, it was just a silly thing for me to do on Facebook. I said, what the hell? But there's this award thing happening on Facebook that Johnny Depp is hosting, and it's a contest to win $25,000 and to show your artwork in the gallery in LA and in a Art Forum magazine, I think it is, or an art magazine. And it's been going on for about 4 weeks now. We start off with the top 100, then the top 20, then the top 15, then the top 10, then 5, and so on. Right now we're at top 10, and I'm in that at 6. So by Thursday, I have to be number 5 or I'm out. So that's my goal. I need to like push those votes in right now to get me up to 5, so I can at least get into top 5.